It is 12 o'clock Friday, day 5 of the ONTV Food Drive for Fish. Back here in the studio for a 2-hour live segment. I'm Ian Locke, Executive Director here at Orion Neighborhood Television. With me again, Matt Pfeiffer from Northern Wholesale Flooring. Not at all, but it's been a long week. It's been a fun week. It's been a productive week.
And you look tired.
I feel tired. Yeah. You helped kick off the week on Monday, and we got you back in just to close out the week and say thank you to all the legwork you did and all that jazz of collecting on behalf of fish. And thank you.
No, thank you necessary. I love it, and love working with your team here and with the folks at Oxford Orion Fish. And yeah, it's been a productive week, huh?
Absolutely productive week. And I know we have our little rundown. This is kind of a loose, fun show for the next 2 hours. We have special guests here in the studio from the DDA, and we're going to have a nice segment about what's happening at the Lake Orion DDA here in a moment. But yeah, where are we right now in our collection totals? I don't know if we can throw that up because we should throw that out there. That's our current total right now, $57.75. We got $300 just this morning before 10 a.m.
Did you?
And so we went through our goal late yesterday, so we're happy with that, but we want to blow through that goal, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, if you're watching, you can't see us right now, but if you now
there we go.
We're back.
See, live TV.
If you're watching, you need to get on the phone, or better yet, get on the website.
OnTV.org. Click that donate button today.
Every time I say website, could you just? And it's right there.
It's right
not like I can't
and
turn.
It's right behind us.
I can't turn that far. But you need to get on and donate. This is an incredibly important mission that is ongoing year-round, and the folks at Oxford Orion Fish do such a good job making sure that that everybody has some food. And so you, with a small donation, can make a difference. With a big donation, you can make a bigger difference. And I picked up a little check this morning, which I'm kind of excited about. Our friends over at Canterbury.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, let's give them the backstory. So,
tuning in, yes. Oh, I was going to get there.
Okay.
You thought I'd just jump right to the juice?
I thought you just, yes.
The juice?
You got to tease them a little.
Yes. All right. Well.
Sorry, I ruined your rhythm.
No, I can just jump right back in. So, early in the week, I had a chat with Keith actually before we kicked off, and Keith's been a great supporter of really everything Orion in Canterbury Village. When I say Keith, I mean Canterbury Village. They do a tremendous amount in the community to support us with our efforts to feed folks with Woodside and Forgotten Harvest. Keith is a tremendous supporter of our pantry there, and then he loves to help out Oxford Orion Fish. So we got a donation right out of the gate of $500 from him, which is part of what I have here. But then he put up the challenge. He said, "Hey, if we can get 5 businesses to donate $100, I'll match those." So we'll go to $1,000, and we did that.
We did live on the air.
Did it? Yeah, live on the air on Monday. And so now we've got a little check for Oxford Orion Fish for $1,000 from our friends at Canterbury. So that's a total of $1,500 with their help and some other local businesses to make a big difference to help make sure that everybody's got food that needs it.
Which is amazing. And again, we're saying we want to really launch past that goal of $5,000, and with this check, we just did that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And absolutely. So, Keith, he second year with the food drive, huge donation, biggest donation again this year. And like we said, Matt, we talked about it at length on Monday about this community coming together, rallying around those in need. We've seen it time and time again here in Orion and in Oxford, and this is just another indication of the businesses coming through. We had 30 plus businesses this year that sponsored at least a $100 donation or more, which is
awesome.
Which is a massive record and for us here in the food drive. And again, so we have these graphics that say, hey, our goal is $5,000. It is, but we know we're past that goal. But now
our goal was always more than $5,000. We were never going to be happy with $5,000. You know that.
And so last year we were about 71, and we know with this we're on our way. We have a little announcement from the guys from the VFW later today.
They're awesome too. They jump in and help so often. If you're watching out there, it is so important that you support the businesses and organizations in our community that step up and make a difference. By doing that, you're helping to strengthen our whole community. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Lake Orion and Orion Township and the surrounding area is the most generous community on the planet as far as I'm concerned. When people are in need, this community steps up. And Canterbury, I've been going there since I was a little kid. It used to be Antique Village back in the days. They have so many great events. Get out there, take your family, support their events, support Yates and Woodside and the great shops there, and show up at the events because that supports the whole community. And then you talk about VFW. I mean, these guys right in downtown Lake Orion, they are incredible. And really just about everything that we get involved in, they give me a call and say, hey, we want to give you a check. Where can we get, come pick up a check. When it was the fire victims downtown, they were a huge supporter of that. So you need to support the organizations that are here doing the good work. You need to support your local businesses, your local ONTV, and by doing that, you're going to be helping so many more people than just the business you're supporting.
And supporting those businesses, I mean, it comes around full circle, right? I mean, the businesses give back to the community gives to the businesses, right? Right? It's awesome. So we do have, so this is Friday, and we have specific sponsors we have for today. So let's take a quick video and a thank you for those sponsors we have for Friday.
Fantastic.
Corporate sponsors for their generous donations. Today's portion of the 2023 ONTV Food Drive is brought to you by Galling Buick GMC, located at 1491 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Galling is a longtime supporter of the ONTV Food Drive, returning this year as a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can visit their website at GallingBuickGMC.com. Canterbury Village, located at 2359 Joslyn Court in Orion Township. This is the second year Canterbury Village has supported the food drive. They're a 5-day sponsor and have made a generous donation of $1,000 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. You can find more information about Canterbury Village by visiting their website, CanterburyVillage.com, or give them a call at 248-931-1900. Ohana Wealth Advisory, located in Berkeley, Michigan. This is Ohana Wealth Advisory's first year supporting the ONTV Food Drive, and they're a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-246-8080. Northern Wholesale Flooring, located at 118 Indianwood Road in Lake Orion. Northern Wholesale Flooring is a returning partner of the ONTV Food Drive. For more information, you can visit their website at nflooring.com. Kroger, located at 3097 South Baldwin Road in Orion Township. This year, Kroger is a 4-day sponsor thanks to a generous $400 donation to Fish. For more information about Kroger, visit their website, kroger.com, or give them a call at 248-393-0765. Provider Claims Management, located at 30 South Street, Suite 300 in Ortonville. Provider Claims Management is a first-time sponsor of the ONTV Food Drive, donating $200 to our final goal. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-627-8881. You can also check out their Facebook page. Culver's, located at 4963 Interpark Drive North in Lake Orion. Culver's is a longtime partner with the ONTV Food Drive and helps to keep the crew fed. For more information about Culver's, you can visit their website at culvers.com. You can also give them a call at 248-276-2222. Corporate Benefit Solutions, located at 5750 New King Drive, Suite 310 in Troy. This is Corporate Benefit Solutions' second year with the food drive, donating $100. Visit their website at corporatebenefitsolutions.net or give them a call at 248-290-0250 extension 16. Graphic Takeover, located at 948 South Baldwin Road in Clarkston. They are supporting the ONTV Food Drive for the first time this year, donating $100 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Graphic Takeover, visit their website, graphictakeover.com, or give them a call. Nuts About Chocolate, located at 59 South Broadway Street in Lake Orion. The local chocolate and confections shop has contributed $100 to our final goal for this year's food drive. For more information about Nuts About Chocolate, give them a call at 248-690-7345. They also have a presence on Facebook. Builders Custom Flooring, located at 11 South Broadway Street in Lake Orion. The family-owned and operated flooring company is partnering with the ONTV Food Drive for the first time with a $100 donation to the Oxford Orient Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Builders Custom Flooring, visit their website at builderscustomflooring.com. And by Oakland Heating and Cooling, located at 697 South Lapeer Road in Oxford. The family-owned company has been serving Oakland County since 2000. They're a first-time sponsor with a donation of $100 to the Oxford Orient Fish Food Pantry. For more information, you can visit their website, oaklandheatingcooling.com.
All right, back here in the studio, Ian and Matt here, the 13th annual ONTV Food Drive for Fish. We want to thank all of our sponsors. We can't thank them enough. Without them, we would not reach our goal of surpassing that $5,000 collection. We have special guests in the studio, Matt, as we talked about earlier.
Super excited about what's coming up. This is incredibly important for our downtown and for Lake Orion. So I'm really excited to hear what these guys are going to be sharing today.
So we're going to toss it over to Tracy Woodrum, our co-host for today with the Lake Orion DDA. Take it away, Tracy.
All right. Thank you, Ian. Thanks, Matt. So I have joining me today Molly Lalone, the director of the DDA, and Scott Reynolds, who, although he's a longtime volunteer of the DDA, is here officially as the architect for the DDA and some projects that we have coming up. So, which we're really excited about. There's a lot that the DDA does for the downtown, so many different projects over the years. I know one of the very popular spots is the alley, the Flint Street Alleyway project, which we were all involved in the creation of that. And you see so many family pictures, senior pictures down there. And so we're continuing to do that. The DDA is continuing to create those spaces to bring community together. And so what do we have going on right now?
We are looking at the Lake Orion Lumberyard. We would like to create a public space there, and we brought Scott in so he could talk about the project. He's the architect. We've been going through the due diligence process and getting public participation, and I'll leave it to Scott to start talking about all the details.
Yes, we got some exciting projects. Obviously, your segue was perfect. The DDA has been the longtime economic development partner for the village, so working anywhere from the Flint Street alleyway to the streetscape that was improved many years ago. Those were investments that were brought in by that tax base that gets redistributed from county recipients and redistributed to our downtown to create that economic base to become a catalyst in our community and really preserve our history. So one of the projects that Molly brought us on for to help out with, it was inspired by helping the parking problem in downtown that everyone probably experiences, getting food downtown or going to retails.
Who live downtown, we just walk.
We walk, right? Yes,
problem,
right. So it transpired we were looking at a parking deck in Children's Park as one option, and that was something that we looked at back in 2018, and it was conceptually priced at about a $4 million investment and a gain of about 70 parking spaces. And we were considering what else could we do with those funds, and that's where we kind of came to the conclusion of what if we acquired another parcel and did more than just parking as a solution. So we are looking at the lumberyard site. Obviously everyone's familiar with it. It's been there for many years, and we think there's an opportunity there to transpire some more life into our community, bring the character of downtown out, to maybe extend that character and that fabric, and maybe we gain some additional pedestrian amenities. So one of the things that Molly and her team and I and our team have been working together on is we actually did some due diligence on some.
We have some pictures here
Yep,
of the lumberyard.
we were looking at the existing lumberyard conditions. Obviously, probably need some love. It's been a long time since the train was coming through town, and how we were really utilizing this facility. So we thought there was an opportunity to not only look at parking downtown, but also maybe some of the additional amenities that we would be able to provide. So we had a design charrette back in October with Molly and her team, and we invited all the public. We invited council members and all those from local governing bodies to talk about what could we do. And I think a really cool piece that came out of this was an opportunity for additional public space. So what if we had a event pavilion that contributes to the Dragon on the Lake events that are downtown? What if there's space for art amenities. Maybe the students in the school district all contributes to that. So we're doing our due diligence right now, and we're really excited to be presenting the project to Village Council on Monday night. So
Okay,
there'll be
so
some.
that's coming up.
Yes, so
Wow.
we're only days away here.
Yes,
So
oh.
we're going to bring that forth and talk a little bit more with them. So.
That is so exciting. And really, like the village and the DDA and the community and the schools, they've partnered together before. The Meeks Park, right? The entrance to Meeks Park and that wonderful sign. And so to be able to provide more spaces, to be able to bring those groups in and continue to gather as a community, that's very exciting.
Yes,
I think
it's very-
that's, in my opinion, the best use of that space.
Absolutely, and I think what we're the most excited about is the opportunity to make investments that could become catalysts. If you recall, the DDA was instrumental in what's now Fork and Pint downtown,
Yes.
right? That was a business incubator. It was the hope to acquire a property to eventually turn it back over to a business and owner-operator. We've obviously seen Fork and Pint be very successful. Their patio is bumping in the summer with live
Yep.
music and feeds into all the other things that the DDA does. So very instrumental in that kind of the thought of how do we create economic catalysts in the downtown. And this, we feel, is a great opportunity for that.
That's fantastic. I'm really excited about that. And yes, I know we were all around during that time when what Fork and Pint, before that it was 51 North, and you know the DDA was instrumental in bringing that in, and really that along with the streetscape, again driven by the DDA, was really what brought our downtown to life. Really started to bring in more businesses, a lot more restaurants, and now, I mean, 12 years ago, you know, if you lived in the township, you're like, downtown, I don't ever go downtown.
Right,
you know?
yep.
And now, like, the downtown is a destination. It is just hopping. The energy is fantastic. I love living walking distance to everything. I love when, you know, the streets are filled and just everyone's around. It's great. So I'm so excited that there's another space that we could be bringing in and continuing that. And you were mentioning like, well, whenever you were mentioning like for the Dragon on the Lake and having like a pavilion, because that's such a fun event and brings everybody together. And yeah, it would be, I think, great to have that space that's just there.
Yeah, and I think, you know, the opportunity there is to preserve our story, preserve our history, but keep pushing us in the right direction, right? I mean, we have these festivals that are growing. You mentioned, you know, downtown wasn't what it was 12 years ago. We had 1 or 2 restaurants, and now we have, you know, 6, 7, 8 options. I mean, you drive through downtown on a Thursday night, and there's a lot going on.
Yes.
And the summer concert series that the DDA puts on it, we just draw people from all over, not only residents in the village, but of the township and surrounding areas are really seeing our downtown as a destination, which is an exciting piece.
Yes.
And I think the other part about this is you know, we're taking a property that probably needs some investment. It needs, you know, there's some opportunity there, but we're also helping drive that conversation towards what's best for our community. How do we preserve our character? Does it, you know, does it need to be a bunch of apartments, or can we have a little bit of apartments, some park space, a little bit of parking? The nice mix, instead of it just being economic or a developer-driven solution that isn't always going to be in our best interest. The DDA can play that role to be a public partner and a private-public partnership to really create what's best for us in the long term and preserve our history moving forward.
I agree, and I love that. I love that there is that thinking, and that, I mean, you know, as it was said earlier, I mean, Lake Orion is really a community that comes together, and I love that there is this vision to utilize that space. We do, like, we are moving forward, we are progressing, you know, as times move on, which is great to see, but I love that we're still creating the spaces that preserves our history, that keeps community, you know, at the top, you know, as a top priority, and but still allows us to continue to grow and move forward. So I love that. I love that.
Yeah. So you know, a couple of pieces about the development. I mean, we're in the early concept stages, and what we're seeking here is similar to what other cities have done. So The downtown Fenton, in years past, they actually removed a lot of their downtown and realized that was a mistake and needed to recreate it. And they started with what their project was similar to the lumberyard would be the Fenton Cornerstone. And that investment actually became the catalyst for millions of dollars of further investment in the downtown. So they, if you talk with them, they would say, absolutely, we would make that investment again. And to be clear, this is something that, these taxes are something that if we didn't have the DDA, it would be dollars that we would be missing out on. They would go to other entities and would not be directed locally. So we really should look at the DDA as an economic development partner to create solutions. So,
right, because there's funds that come, it's not from taxpayers, but it comes from other sources.
Correct. So
because we have a DDA.
Correct. The DDA, in a general sense, is essentially redirected taxes that may go to the county or to other entities outside of our community that just get redirected back to us. And if we didn't have the DDA as it sits today, we would be losing out on a considerable number of dollars.
And taxes would not go down.
Yep.
We could not have a DDA. We could not have this benefit.
Right, that
the
money
taxes
is
would be
the tax
exactly
money
the
is
same.
going out. It's just where is it being distributed?
Right. We're
And
claiming
this way, it's coming back.
Refunneled back
because
to
we
local.
have that.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So
that's a great point.
it's a great system that we have in place, and Molly and her team have been working diligently. We have some early concepts. We've actually talked with the partners along
and
the
I
way.
think we can get the
we can
put
maybe
that, we
get
had that up
the
earlier,
plan
but
up.
we can
So.
talk more about it.
A little
All right.
overview. There's a number of things going on here, but we're considering, can we improve parking downtown? You can see that there's a proposed open air pavilion in the center, an opportunity.
Yeah, tell us what we're looking at here. Like, because on the screen we can see, some of the colored
Yeah.
boxes.
So the yellow box is actually the proposed open air pavilion, and this is an early concept. So this might not be exactly where we land, but the ideas are here, and a lot of these ideas we got from our community design charrette in October. So the thought would be is like the purple building that's kind of in the upper left-hand side could be a new building that continues that downtown fabric. We were hoping to work with Leo's Coney Island on the side, maybe improve parking, improved access, and avoid accidents and make it safer for both people and vehicles and walkers and people using the Paint Creek Trail. But we also had this opportunity to bring in public art. A big item that came out of
the red circles.
Correct. Thank you, Molly. So public art installations. We had discussed a butterfly garden. So we're really hoping to take this as an opportunity to bring everyone together. And the great benefit of this project is that, we have the dollars, we have the funding source. So you have heard, maybe if you've been in the news or been watching the Orion Review, that there is a bond proposal with this. And those bonds are a typical funding source or one vehicle of opportunity to fund a project like this. And the DDA is fully funded to be able to support those bonds, that sale. It's essentially just that public, would you say maybe the mortgage on the project that exists. I think the other thing to point out too is we're looking for development partners, right? And it's funny, we've gotten some interest of local, maybe restaurants, maybe local businesses who said, I need more space and this might be a perfect fit for me. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do is we're trying to maybe create this catalyst and say, would you want to maybe buy that part of the property back from us? So it really is the investment that we're making here, not just spending dollars, it's investing dollars.
Right, absolutely. I love it. And I love how you're saying, having the art in different places because the DDA has done that before and brought in from the DIA some of the paintings throughout, and then the dragon on the side of the new building downtown. So I love that. This just expands upon that and creates some additional spaces. I think I heard some things that, if we have a pavilion, we could potentially have a farmer's market again in Lake Orion, which that would be welcome. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is to try and make everything better for residents, for visitors, for businesses. Could we potentially host smaller festivals here on this site? And that's totally a possibility. Maybe we can find a balance of shutting down streets and having spaces to host events with this additional space that we would have versus uh-oh, we're out of space. We only have children's parking lot for our
Right.
beer tent or the pavilion.
And then you put the
for-
tent up, where does everybody park?
Exactly.
Right,
So
yeah.
we're hoping to try and better things downtown,
Yeah.
not make it any worse. So.
Yeah, no, this definitely, I think this would be wonderful. So I'm really excited. And so Monday is when you'll be presenting to the Village Council. And
Yep.
Yeah, some key points are, if we do this project, taxes will not go up.
Right.
Your taxes will not be higher if we're doing this project.
right.
The tax increment that we bring in is more than double what the bond payment would be. So we are very well able
Okay.
to pay for this.
So this is well within the budget.
Yes.
Well within the budget, absolutely.
Yeah.
If anything were to happen to the DDA, because this is secured bond debt, taxpayers are protected. There is absolutely no case in which taxes would go up. There is nothing that would create that. If something untoward were to happen, it's a valuable piece of property and it can be sold.
Right.
Taxes will not go up because of this project. It is only good for the community.
Yeah.
And we have the public interest in mind, and we have shown that time after time with the projects that we do.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And one of the things that doesn't even sound exciting is, but it is exciting to me, is we've got kind of a busy intersection there at Atwater and Broadway.
Yeah.
And there's 2 driveways along Broadway going into that property. There's 2 driveways on Atwater going into that property. We're going to consolidate everything and just make one safe driveway on Broadway and one safe driveway on Atwater.
That
is
would be
great.
very nice.
Yeah.
That would be
Great.
very
We
nice.
got a
But I
lot of
know-
wins in this
Yes.
scenario.
Yeah,
so.
that is. Because
Yeah.
if you've walked, walked or biked or even driving in that area, it's
It's busy. We've
there's,
got a lot of good things going on downtown.
Yeah, it is busy. So it would be nice to not only bring in more but make it safer at the same time.
Yep.
Yes.
So
And as we mentioned before, this is kind of another project that we've done similar to the past. You know, the streetscape was a large investment, and I think we've seen a pretty significant return on that investment. Now that
Yes.
we've made that, I think, what was it, about 10 years ago, Molly?
Yes, it
that
was
we
a $1.2 million investment, and on our balance sheet, that is now worth $3 million.
wow. So just about tripled the investment, and this is a similar project as
Absolutely.
well. But we're not even just looking at the value. It's the you can't put a number.
No.
You can't put a price on what it brings to the community.
Yep, we
So,
feel like this is exciting. So we're excited. We want community input as we keep engaging. We're looking for community partners, and
Great.
we're excited to keep moving this project forward and bring some great new opportunities to downtown Lake Orion.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. Thank you both for joining us and sharing that. And if you're interested in being a community partner or want to provide your input, they are all ears.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
please do so.
Well, thanks
So-
for having us today.
Yes, thank you,
Appreciate it.
Scott. Thank you,
Tracy.
Molly. So great to have you. And we'll send it back to you, Ian.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Nuts About Chocolate celebrated its official grand opening in 2017 with a ribbon cutting ceremony in downtown Lake Orion.
So what we've done is since day one, we started off with like 27 products. Now we're over 120. I haven't really actually counted, plus the cakes and cupcakes and cake pops and specialty things. So the store has truly morphed into something that was unexpected, but yet has still stayed true to being chocolate, which is unusual in today's world, because I've noticed, because as I'm working with chocolate, I have found that most of the chocolate stores nowadays are everything. They're delis, they're ice cream shops, they're coffee shops. Their chocolate is not their main thing. We have been fortunate that we have been able to stay true to what we wanted to do with not only our chocolate, but our packaging. Still over 80% of our packaging is biodegradable and recyclable, which we love. So it's been nice that although we have morphed considerably from where we started, we are still true to the roots of what we wanted. February for Nuts About Chocolate is actually our second biggest holiday behind Christmas, and then it's in between, like our three main holidays are Christmas, Valentine's, and Easter, and then after that we just float through the rest of the year with support from our customers, which we love. Well, the importance of giving back to the community is everybody is entitled to be comfortable in their everyday. Nobody should ever have to struggle. We are a world that is enriched and rich. America is a country of unlimited resources. And when you're part of a small community, it is your duty to give back and ensure that everybody within your community has something to eat, has something nice to wear, doesn't worry about where that next meal is coming. And the Orion Oxford Fish Pantry provides that, and I love that without judgment. So we love being a part of it.
Well, hello, Orion neighbors. Hi, I'm Jimmy with Graphic Takeover. Nice to see you guys today. Hope everybody's having a great time at the awards ceremony today. I know I'm having a great time. The food's great. I'm sincerely grateful for this honor being chosen as Business Person of the Year. Thank you to the Chamber staff, from leadership to ambassadors, and all the businesses that make up such an important organization. I met so many amazing people along my Chamber journey. Thanks to the GT team for all your support and passion for the brands that we support and grow. And a special thank you and a huge sorry to my family and friends that had to put up with my crazy thoughts and ideas growing Graphic Takeover. Growing a company is not easy, though. Growing a branding agency is even harder. I want to clear up some misconceptions, though, about us, graphic designers, though. First, coffee. Yes, we do drink a lot of coffee, but really, we only need 1 cup of coffee a day. Ah, thank you. See, just 1 cup a day. All I need. But also, the other misconception is that we just draw pretty pictures all day. No, that is not the case. There's a lot of research that we do before we draw those pretty pictures. We research what the customer's wants and needs are, and also figure out who they're targeting. Then we whip out the crayons and utensils and the computer programs to make those pretty pictures possible. The last misconception about graphic designers is that we spend way too long concepting and not getting anything done. But we do. We play hard and work hard all day to make sure that creative process is not impeded at all. Again, thank you everyone for nominating me and choosing me as your Business Person of the Year, and look forward to meeting more businesses and meeting more people in the Chamber in 2023. Thank you.
The history, well, it was back in 1985, Northern was founded, and I purchased it in early 2004. So it was almost 20 years old when I purchased it. And that puts us at, what if I have that right, 36 years, I think, 36, 37 years now that Northern's been serving the Orion community as well as surrounding communities. Times are changing, and I'm a big believer in that if we don't change with them, then we're going to be left behind. And so, yeah, you know, when I bought the store, it was located there in the plaza next to OPA, which is that plaza is most known for, and we were there for a long time. And then I had the opportunity to buy a building on 24, which I did with the intention of going to a more full-service, high-end, kind of a destination flooring store. And the reality is, at the same time I was doing that, the industry was changing. And the industry was changing to a lot of online sellers and to the big box stores. Really the strength of the big box stores has become very challenging for independent retailers, and many independent retailers went away. So at that point, I made the decision to change up the model, and it was painful because we had a beautiful space there and still that great reputation, but I believed that we needed to evolve. And now the great thing is with the floor trader, the addition of the floor trader, we have a lot more space here. We have over 100,000 feet of flooring in stock, and we have better buys than anybody. I mean, any big box store. When it comes to quality for price, there is nobody that can touch us, and especially our independent retail friends and big box and, you know, the Costco's and all of them. So we've created a destination that gives customers what they need, regardless of what end of the spectrum they're on in terms of their needs for flooring. And I couldn't have done that in that location. So as much as it hurt, we did what we had to be relevant for today's customer, and they're why we're here. So if we aren't changing for them, then I think that we're making a mistake. I love what we do and we're proud of our business, but the reality is I'm a believer that it is our responsibility as a business in a small community to take care of our community. And so, you know, we started many years ago with a few efforts, like we used to do packages for the troops when we had a lot of people overseas, and we did that in honor of one of our locals that passed, Raymond Plower, who lost his life in the conflict in Iraq. And so back in those days, we were there for that family, and we built a partnership with them. And then it just kind of evolved to anytime there was a need, we tried to jump in. And quite frankly, I spend way more of my time doing that at this point personally than I do on our business, and I leave that to our staff, which is, you know, we're real proud of them as well. But the reality is there's a lot of needs. We also are collecting food for this food drive, and I'm looking forward to being a part of that as well and helping to make sure that you guys meet the goal. So there are so many needs in our community, and I'd say more than ever, at least it feels that way. And so we believe it's our responsibility and duty to be a part of that, and quite frankly, we encourage all of you out there to patron the businesses, because when I do anything in charity, we reach out to all my local business friends, and there are many of them that come through time after time after time and are here for us to help us be able to take care of people when they're in need in these tragedies. And I would encourage you to follow me, follow what we're doing in those businesses, and support those businesses in the community, because the reality is, if I didn't have those businesses to lean on, I couldn't do what we do as a team here and as a team in the community to help others. So we need businesses that give back, and we just really encourage our locals to keep that in mind when you're making purchases. If you're buying from a big box store, not that they're bad people, but they probably aren't doing a lot in our local community. And there's a lot of businesses that, you know, don't focus on the community, and we just think that your money would be better spent in helping those that help make our community the great, amazing place that it is. You guys need to drive up here with some food. Better yet, drive up with some cash. And if you're a company, you need to call in and you need to donate some money to help keep this food pantry stocked for all of our guests. So I challenge all of you, join us in this fight. And if everybody does a little bit, it's really not that challenging, and we can do great things together.
All right, back in the studio here. Thank you for our sponsors, those feature videos, really celebrating why they give back to the community. and how our sponsors are helping us just get launched through that collection goal. And we just had that $1,000 donation from
Yes,
Canterbury Village
that was
come through with
fantastic.
Matt. We had to say goodbye to Matt. But what an interview with the DDA. I
Yes.
mean, so much
Oh.
happening down in that.
So exciting.
I know.
The project at the Lake Orion Lumberyard is so exciting, and I love that we have a DDA that is always looking to do projects and pull together like what's best for the community, because
Yeah.
that property is getting sold, Lake Orion Lumber
either
is
way,
either
right,
way.
yeah.
And so it's nice that we have a DDA that is going to purchase and develop the property for us, as opposed to a developer coming in and just doing it for their own, personal economic
Yeah.
gain. So
And
I
that's the
love
first
it.
time I've seen those drawings. So I'm learning. I live here in Lake Orion too,
Right,
right?
yeah.
And so seeing that up on the screen, going, really, an open
I
air
know,
pavilion?
I know, it's so-
farmers market. That just got me excited. And then
Yes.
to say, well, the potential to have that space for the festivals, so you can keep the streets open downtown, because we know that. I mean, we love our festivals in Lake Orion, right?
Yes,
we have
we
them.
do, we do.
There's lists of them, and they are popular, and people go down. But we understand the strain it puts on some of the local businesses down there.
Right.
And to have that, I had no idea that plot of land was that large.
I know it's deceiving when
Yeah.
when you walk
You just
through
see
on
a
the
little bit
Pink
of it,
Creek
yeah.
Trail, or you don't see the depth of it.
So that's exciting. But
Yeah.
and we were just talking off air, going, well, how do we get a new program put together with the DDA from Oxford and Lake
Yes.
Orion? And I think we settled on something with Molly. So that's always exciting. And Ian Locke here in the studio with Tracy Woodrum, a volunteer here at ONTV. You went through our classes. You have your podcast. So
Yes.
always hosting here with us. So it's awesome to have you here on Friday with me.
Thank you for having me. It's always so much fun to be here.
Right,
So.
and you do such a nice job. It's like you've been a presenter all your life.
No, I'm brand new to this, but it's fun.
But you did great, and
you.
that's what ONTV is, and community is here at the studio. Our volunteer crew, making sure this is happening, bringing you the images and the sounds today, and hosting duties. So it's great.
you,
So let's
yes.
talk about Oxford Orion Fish. I know I have my little clock here. We're going to try to get the LOAM newscast from
Okay.
Lake Orion High School here coming up in about 5 to 7 minutes, I think. Steve, what do you got? About 10 minutes? Okay, great.
Okay.
So that's always exciting. The kids at the high school. So we're bringing our two studios together and really showcasing all of the talent that we have in this township.
And we do have a lot.
Ton of
yes.
it. And saying goodbye to Matt Pfeiffer, and he's on the township board now, and we were just talking about some projects. One thing we wanted to talk about before our guests had to leave, they were at a hard time out.
Yep.
They had to leave to get their business done for the day.
Yes.
But we were talking about it, the township just hired 2 full-time firefighters. So that was big
saw that,
news
yes.
from the township meeting from Monday, and now they have a fully staffed fire department here in Lake Orion, in Orion
That's
Township. So that's exciting.
Fantastic. Yes, they posted out all over social media. And it was so nice to see the new firefighters and their families. And
Yeah, and you see, and
So.
again, the first responders and the way, we were just voted a 5-star. What was that? It was in the paper. I wish I had the Lake Orion Review and we could promote it, but they
Yeah.
voted again one of the safest communities in the nation. I don't want to speak too big, but I know.
I mean,
it's
it could be.
pretty-
It could be. I know. Whenever I've needed, whether it
Yeah.
be the police or the fire, I mean, they are on top of
and
things.
they're visible.
So,
You see them,
Yes.
and it's wonderful.
always involved in the community. and-
Absolutely.
yeah.
So let's get down to business. Why are we here? It's the food drive, the 13th annual ONTV food drive for fish here in the ONTV studios. The final day, the 5th and final day of our 12 to 2 lunch hour break, and have some fun. How can you donate to fish? You can do it online at orionontv.org. As you can see on your screen, we have our graphics there. Head on over there, click on the food drive logo, and you can donate via our charity GoFundMe. It takes maybe 15, 20 seconds.
Right, very
and
easy.
you can help those in need in our community. And as we mentioned, we're over the $6,000 mark,
That's
which is
amazing.
fantastic.
Yes.
And you can also donate in person here at 1349 Joslyn Road here at the Orion Center. The big production van sitting out front with the door open. You can drop your donations off today. And there it is. There's the overhead cam
over 6,000.
$6,775 with that massive donation by Canterbury Village. Yes, we need to applaud Canterbury Village and Keith Aldridge and the guys over there.
Yes.
So wonderful. And we always talk about the needs at Fish. As the season changes, the physical donations are always needed.
Yes, always needed, and we just had them in studio, representatives, and they said that this time of year, some of the important things that they really need are like those heartier soups and stews.
Yeah, I think we have a graphic for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But what we're doing today with raising money, because there's so many things that we can't physically donate.
Correct.
Because all of the perishable items, and there is the way that it goes, oh, there we have the list. Here's what their current wish list is. So if you want to donate an actual item, we have a whole list here: canned fruits, chili, stews, Sloppy Joes, ketchup, mustard. Oh, ketchup and mustard. I mean, the way we go through ketchup in our household, I mean, and it's just my son right now who goes through it. And so
just have it on tap.
So make sure you put in some extra ketchup in your donation.
Correct. Canned chickens, meats, hamburger helper, meal prep items. They always go the long way. Tacos are huge.
Yeah.
Right. All those hearty bits that give you.
So those are great if you want to, but if you want to help out with some of the perishable needs that they have throughout the year, so like the eggs, the milk, the things that because of
fresh
safety,
meats.
Meats, there's safety concerns and there's protocol that needs to be followed. So the funds that they receive through this drive and through others are how they fund that throughout the year. So the financial donations are equally as important. So
yes, and it gives them flexibility, right? So if, let's say, we have a food drive where the physical donations are really coming in, they can hold on to those cash reserves and they can release those and use those to buy those needed items, to supply and spot purchase for those areas that are in need. And the one thing I really love about Fish is 4 years now in the new facility, which kind of blows my mind. I can't believe it's 4 years, or 13 for this for our food drive, is that you walk in and it's like a grocery store, and you can go in and you can pick the necessities you need specific to your family. And so it's not just a anonymous box with 60 or 100 pounds of food.
Use what we give you.
Correct.
You actually get to select what you will eat and your family likes.
Correct.
So.
And we keep bringing it up. If you're in a food emergency, this is key. If you are in a food emergency, there's help. You can contact Fish directly. I don't know their phone number offhand. I need that graphic. There it is, 248-628-3933. And we can't stress enough, if you are in that emergency, call today, leave a message, and they can help you tomorrow. And they streamline the process of onboarding clients to help at Fish, and so it is almost immediate. If you are desperately in need of food, again, call 248-628-3933. Fish is there to help.
Yeah, we don't want anybody going hungry. That's why they're there, and that's why we do drives like this, is so that we can continue to help. Because many people go through a time. It might just be just one little blip in your in your life that you need this help, and please reach out, because that's what it's there for.
Yep, and the food pantry serves Oxford, Orion, Addison, and Oakland townships. So, give them that call. And if you want to visit their website, they have oxfordorionfish.org. If you're thinking about volunteering, the whole organization is run by volunteers, from their board members to those who stock the shelves, those who are coming this afternoon, to help box up the food we have in our lobby.
There's a lot of food
here.
Yeah,
the brownies and daisies came in earlier in the week, and they donated a bunch of food, as you can see on our.
That's just a portion of it. It goes all the way down the hall.
It does,
and it's so great to see. So.
And those little guys, when they popped in here, it was. My daughter's now 20. I still see her as that little, the little big rosy cheeked, the little toddler.
Oh, I know,
We have children the same age.
Yes.
So when you see the little guys rolling in, it just takes me back to when she's little, carrying the food in for the food drive, and my family has always helped out to pack the food here at ONTV, and just to see those little rugrats roll in here with those it's great to see kids getting involved at a young age in helping out their community and those in need. And it was just kind of, I don't choke up that often, but I was choked up a little.
Yeah, I know. Like it's like, oh, it
Where are
is.
those little cheeks again?
So nice
you
to see.
know?
I know how fast it goes. It's like, oh my
does.
goodness.
So again, here at ONTV studio, Ian Locke and Tracy Woodrum here bringing you the day 5. And today, what is programming? It's kind of like a history theme for our next program segment when we get into the second hour and the 1 p.m. hour. Before we get there, we're going to take you off to Lake Orion High School's LOAM newscast here momentarily. I'm not sure how much time we have until 2 minutes. Can we fill for 2 minutes? Do we know how?
I think so. It just doesn't seem to be a problem.
I feel like I've been filling all week, right? So, hey, you can't go wrong with a website. Head on over to orionontv.org. You see it on the big monitor behind me. Donate today to charity GoFundMe. There are some fees that are taken out for those online donations, but they added a new tip option. So if you want to tip, add a tip, it'll cover those processing fees. And the great thing is that since it's a charity GoFundMe, it's something GoFundMe set up a couple years ago, and it takes less of the fees out than the typical GoFundMe, which that should be the case anyway, right? If you're donating to charity, why take a big chunk?
Exactly. Yes, it should be minimal, just to cover whatever costs are needed to operate the donation.
There's
mechanisms.
Always, if you have credit cards, we know it costs money to process those things, and they are a business. But come on, we're giving to charity here. We're giving to people in need. So, but anyway, that option's there if you'd like. Donate, please. There are some questions about how long the GoFundMe will be up. Usually we take it down Friday afternoon, but we're going to leave it up over the weekend.
Okay, so through the weekend.
If you don't see it, you can actually do it. Okay, so I'm getting the wrap-up signal. I have to be quiet. Off to LOAM News. Let's take a look at Lake Orion High School students in action right now.
Coming soon on today's broadcast, popcorn,
a look at the safe eds of Lake Orion,
and a new question of the week. You're going to want to keep watching because we are LOAM.
It's wonderful to have you back, Lake Orion. Today is February 10th, 2023. I'm Raymond Valentine, and I'm joined once again by the riveting Ryan Wilbert. How's it going today, Ryan?
It's going pretty good, Raymond. I've actually got a fun fact for you today. Did you know Clarkston High School does not have school today?
Really?
Yeah, it's apparently because of a Teacher in Service Learning Day. They kind of gather and learn some new skills.
That's interesting, wow.
Yeah, well, at least we're here today so we can bring our great stories to you. Raymond, would you like to kick us off?
Always. The 2023 Lake Orion High School Spring Musical has been announced. Yesterday morning, the Thespian Troupe revealed this year's show is Disney's High School Musical. Auditions begin Wednesday, February 22nd. That's the first day back from midwinter break. Audition information and tech forms are posted outside the Drama Room D352. The curtain goes up on the weekend of April 27th, 28th, and 29th.
You probably see the Lake Orion High School security staff around the halls every day. They're known as the Safe Eds because that's the name of their company and it's listed on their yellow shirts. We spoke to some of the Safe Ed staff to learn more about their role in keeping LOHS safe.
We are responsible for making sure the school is safe at all times. So we go around the school, both levels, and check every exterior door to make sure it's secure. And we do that throughout the day.
As most of you know, we just walk around, make sure that everybody's safe. We make sure that nobody's coming in the building that's not supposed to. So we check the perimeter, make sure all the doors are shut, the people aren't propping doors open. We come in the bathroom sometimes to make sure people aren't doing things they're not supposed to. But mostly just here to make sure you guys stay safe and are doing the right thing.
You know, sometimes someone may be having a hard day and we can give them some encouraging words or direct them to their counselor.
My favorite part of the day is, of course, conversating with students, also the team effort of protecting the Thunder.
I just enjoy being with students, and I love the teachers and the staff. The staff is great to work with, and my co-workers are great.
My favorite part is probably just the interactions that I get to have with, the students, also with the staff, honestly, being here and part of a good team.
The Dragon's Den is the LOHS school store. Something special is happening next week at the Den. Let's pop over and take a look.
Okay, I really like the school popcorn. I get it pretty much every lunch because it's cheap, 75 cents, and it tastes really good.
It's cheap, it's pretty good. I love the flavor of it. It's very salty, and I love the fact that I can get like different seasonings and put it on the popcorn.
I love the school popcorn. It is the best. I love the buttery inside and the hard crunchy outside. It's just so good. I love all the seasoning that you can put on. It's amazing. I love school popcorn so much.
Starting next Monday, if you buy popcorn from the school store and get one of those pink sticky notes on it, you'll get 25 cents off of your popcorn.
This deal starts next Monday. Take a trip to the school store to see if you get lucky.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
I know.
Now on to Class Spotlight. This week's edition, we take a closer look at a hands-on metal class.
In jewelry and metal art, we go over 4 main units. What's really cool about this class is we work with metal. So the first unit is learning how to come up with a design and sawing into the metal and then refining it. And then our second unit is based on soldering, so we learn how to fuse metal together. And then our third unit is going over kind of more dimensional art, so making something 3-dimensional and then casting that in metal. And then our last unit works with colors. So we do a variety of projects which are really exciting, and it gives students just a chance to explore that creative outlet of jewelry and metal art. A lot of those skills carry over into other subjects, but also these are things that jewelers use on a daily basis in their workshop. So this is a great class for students to take if they're just interested in learning something beyond just drawing. Yes, we start with a drawing, with a sketch, but then we take that drawing and implement it into a metal design. So if you're not, if you don't have a strong skill set in drawing, that is okay. In jewelry, we're working with other tools to create that outcome that we're looking for. So I really encourage anyone to take jewelry and metal art. It works on fine motor skills, but also it gives you something beyond maybe your basics within art. So Jewelry and Metal Art 1 is open to all grades, freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. There are no prerequisites, so they can go right into this class. And then if they really enjoy this class, they can move on to Jewelry 2 and even Jewelry 3, and then eventually make it into AP Art, where they can create a whole series of work within the jewelry realm.
I'll tell you what, I took that class and I was not very good at it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Well, it was fun at least.
All right, you're probably tired of us, so let's send you down the field to Clarice Larson with today's sports report.
Clarice, take it away.
Thanks, Ryan. Coming up on today's sports report, more skiing and basketball. Stay tuned. Two members of the Dragon ski team had an exciting week racing in their 2-day divisional event at Pine Knob Ski Resort. Sophomore Broden Janzarek struck gold twice, taking first place in both the slalom and the giant slalom events. Junior Evan Kelly also finished in the top 10 in both races. Both skiers now move on to the Southeastern Michigan Ski League Championships on February 21st. Both the boys and girls ski teams are headed to Mount Holly on Monday for the MHSAA Regionals. The varsity boys basketball team earned an important road victory over Farmington High School last night. The final score was 62-46. Senior DJ Morrow poured in 26 points to lead LO. Senior Blake Liddell scored 16. The Dragons have an overall record of 6 wins and 7 losses. They travel to Utica Ford High School on Monday. In basketball action, the varsity girls battled Troy at home last Friday. The varsity girls have been on one of Lake Orion's best winter sports teams this year, and they look to continue their success against the Colts. Emma Watson has the highlights.
The varsity girls basketball team hosted Troy last Friday. The Lady Dragons started the first quarter off strong, getting an 18-point lead on the Colts. The first quarter ended with a score of 20-2. The team continued to widen the gap between them and Troy in the second quarter, and the score by halftime was 36-9. Coming back from halftime, the girls continued to stay in the lead, even with Troy gaining 8 points. The score at the end of the third quarter was 48-17. Top scorers from the game were Kylie Heck with 17 points, Carmen Hortez had 9 points. Jody McCaffrey, Charlotte Peplowski, and Maddie Everett had 7 points each. The Dragons finished the fourth quarter with the score of 62-22, taking the win over Troy.
I think we played really well. We played at a high intensity level, and I think that we'll just have to keep it up the rest of the season, and that's it.
For WDBC, I'm Emma Watson.
The freshman JV girls basketball teams traveled up Lapeer Road to Oxford last Tuesday. Ben Redmond has the highlights of both games.
The Lake Orion girls basketball team played a triple header against Oxford on Tuesday. The freshman girls started out that night. During the first half, Oxford quickly took the lead, while the Dragons were struggling to make any baskets. The first half ended with Oxford having over double the points Lake Orion had, 17-8. The second half was no different. The Dragons found some shots in the third quarter, but Oxford's offense was too strong, increasing their lead in the third quarter 26-12. Fourth quarter was the same result. Lake Orion struggled to score, achieving 1 point in the fourth quarter. The final score was 34-13 Oxford's win. The JV game followed. The Dragons started out in control of the game, ending the first quarter 15-8. The second quarter saw shots from both teams, but Lake Orion continued to increase their lead even more, ending the first half 23-16 Dragons lead. The second half was no different, with Oxford's defense struggling to block shots. This resulted to a Lake Orion win, 38-31.
It went really good. I feel like a lot of us got down to the hill and to the hoop. We had a good press break, and I feel like overall we worked really good together.
For WDBC, I'm Ben Redmond.
The freshmen play a game at Lutheran Northwest this afternoon, and all 3 girls basketball teams traveled to Stony Creek on Tuesday. The varsity and JV cheer teams competed against others from their league last Wednesday. Ben Redmond flips us the recap.
The varsity and JV cheer teams competed in the OOA League Meet on Wednesday. The teams to beat were Rochester, Rochester Adams, Stony Creek, and Troy Athens. Cheer competitions consist of 3 rounds, each round getting more complicated than the last. First round saw the Lake Orion JV team finish with a score of 215.4, while the varsity team completed the round with 235.7. The second round added some flips to build onto the intensity. The JV Dragons finished with a score of 182.72, while the varsity team received 224.34. The third round got complicated. Although the Dragons pulled it off, the JV team finished the last round with a score of 277.6, while the varsity team achieved 315.3. The total score for the JV Dragons was 675.72, which led them to secure 4th place. The varsity team was also 4th place, with a score of 775.34. The team that won the meet was Rochester, with a score of 788.36.
It went pretty good. I feel like we were all really focused and confident on our abilities to do it good, but we got 4th out of 5 teams, but that's pretty good for us.
I think it went pretty good. We got better scores and we were more confident this time.
For WDBC, I'm Ben Redmond.
The varsity cheer team competes tomorrow in the Girls Varsity Invitational at Troy Athens. The action starts at 9 a.m. That's it for today's LO Sports Report. For WDBC, I'm Clarice Larson.
Thanks, Clarice. Now it's time to get the input of the student body in our Question of the Week segment.
Today we asked LOHS students to think like the administrators.
As much as I'm sure we all love to be called Lake Orion Dragons, I'm also sure that all of us have at least one thing we would change about LOHS if we had the chance. And that's exactly what I asked students this week. For WDBC, I'm Ellen Caraba, and this is Question of the Week.
I would change no more bathroom hall pass, longer passing time, and we shouldn't have to pay to park here.
I would say that all block classes should be required to take a break halfway through, like walking or something, because it gets very tiring sitting in classrooms.
I would add freshman field trips to improve social connections.
What I'd change would probably be like longer lunches. I feel like we might need more time to interact and with their friends and stuff.
I want people to stop going to the bathroom on the floor because the bathrooms are disgusting.
I would say having nicer bathrooms, definitely. I would change that we have paper towel in bathrooms. I would get rid of the e-hall pass. The parking lot.
I'm gonna say the parking passes, for sure.
Parking spots. It's very hard to find a spot like if you're coming in late, so I'd probably change that.
We already have the greatest students and staff in the nation, so I'm a simple guy. How about, the potholes, repaving the parking lots, and the road on the way to school would be wonderful.
I would say bring back the free school lunches, because a lot of people, some people probably can't afford lunches because it's like $3.75 for one, and I'm hungry and I want free lunch.
Euchre tournaments on Fridays. Euchre tourneys on Fridays. I'd put euchre tourneys on Fridays.
I wish we had ice cream.
Euchre tournaments on Fridays.
I would definitely think to add a winter formal dance, because I feel like just homecoming isn't enough for our under students.
The school lunches should be cheaper than they are.
I think we should have longer passing time.
No one should have to fill out that stupid bathroom pass. It's ridiculous.
I think they need to not sell out of cookies by D-lunch and save some food for the rest of us.
And the tardy passes. Why is it that I can come into school and have to wait an extra 10 minutes and to be late? I'm 10 extra minutes late to my first hour than I would have been originally. It's just so stupid.
I want nachos.
Well, there you have it. The students of LOHS have spoken, and they want Friday euchre tournaments and nachos, apparently.
Honestly, me too.
Your seniors of the day are Amelie Bayer,
Sophia Beamer,
Peter Husted,
Valerie Kulish,
and Nolan Tipsword.
Thanks for joining us on today's LOAM. Next week, get ready for robotics and varsity hockey.
Today's show is dedicated to Mr. Kevin Kopech, because he's just that cool. And remember, LO,
have a fair trade Friday.
All right, back here in the ONTV studio for the 13th annual Food Drive for Fish, Food and Fun Drive for Fish.
Yes,
Ian Locke
yes.
and Tracy Woodrum
Yes.
back again. Great newscast.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
Those are students in our community high school that put together, because it's not even just, they do all the behind the scenes, all the production. It's
the features, yep. It's
Amazing.
an elevated
Yeah.
class. They're actually looking to try to make it AP.
Okay.
Like advanced
It
placement.
it should be, yes.
Yeah.
They should be getting college credits for that, because what they're doing is very advanced.
Yeah, when they throw those out to competition, they
Yeah.
clean up.
Oh,
they are
I
so
can
good. They're
see
in the Hall of
why. Yeah.
Fame. Wonderful organization over there.
Amazing.
Roger Smith, the instructor, and they've added new classes. They even have sports broadcasting now, and
That's
it's
great.
just growing and growing and growing.
Well, and I have to say, I can understand now, too, by watching this, why my son's always asking for money for lunch, because that popcorn looked delicious.
I know that was a good feature.
That
and
was
my
a
son
great
buys lunch
feature.
every day too. It's funny. He's not making the sandwiches anymore. He's out there buying. I go, okay, I get it.
It's all coming together now, right?
So, are you hungry? No, not at all. All right, well, we're going to move on into this. We are in the 1 o'clock hour here, our last hour of our live portion of our food drive for this week, our 5th and final day. The programming theme today is history. So that's coming up with Joe and a special guest. So that's coming up in a bit. You don't want to go away. Don't tune away, please.
No, this is going to be a good segment. You
yes,
definitely
it's a
want
lot
to
of
stick
fun.
around
Jimmy
for
was
that.
here last year, too. We had a great time going over all these different history pieces about Lake Orion. You know, the history of Lake Orion is so rich and diverse. There's so many oddities and interesting things and, you know, that we're going to learn about and have a discussion on. So what we are going to do is we have sponsors, right? With our sponsors, it helped us reach our goal. And as you can see on the screen, I'm looking over the monitor, $6,775 is our current collection total. Our goal is $5,000. We've blown through that. I know we have more on the way, but please get
going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's keep going.
Get to OrionOnTV.org and donate today. Click on that Food Drive logo and donate to our charity GoFundMe. Let's take a look at our sponsors for this Friday, the 5th day of the Food Drive. I'd like to thank our corporate sponsors for their generous donations. Today's portion of the 2023 ONTV Food Drive is brought to you by Galling Buick GMC, located at 1491 South Lapeer Road in Lake Orion. Galling is a longtime supporter of the ONTV Food Drive, returning this year as a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can visit their website at GallingBuickGMC.com. Canterbury Village, located at 2359 Joslyn Court in Orion Township. This is the second year Canterbury Village has supported the food drive. They're a 5-day sponsor and have made a generous donation of $1,000 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. You can find more information about Canterbury Village by visiting their website, CanterburyVillage.com, or give them a call at 248-931-1900. Ohana Wealth Advisory, located in Berkeley, Michigan. This is Ohana Wealth Advisory's first year supporting the ONTV Food Drive, and they're a 5-day sponsor. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-246-8080. Northern Wholesale Flooring, located at 118 Indian Wood Road in Lake Orion. Northern Wholesale Flooring is a returning partner of the ONTV Food Drive. For more information, you can visit their website at nflooring.com. Kroger, located at 3097 South Baldwin Road in Orion Township. This year, Kroger is a 4-day sponsor thanks to a generous $400 donation to Fish. For more information about Kroger, visit their website, kroger.com, or give them a call at 248-393-0765. Provider Claims Management, located at 30 South Street, Suite 300 in Ortonville. Provider Claims Management is a first-time sponsor of the ONTV Food Drive, donating $200 to our final goal. For more information, you can give them a call at 248-627-8881. You can also check out their Facebook page. Culver's, located at 4963 Interpark Drive North in Lake Orion. Culver's is a longtime partner with the ONTV Food Drive and helps to keep the crew fed. For more information about Culver's, you can visit their website at culvers.com. You can also give them a call at 248-276-2222. Corporate Benefit Solutions, located at 5750 New King Drive, Suite 310 in Troy. This is Corporate Benefit Solutions' second year with the food drive, donating $100. Visit their website at corporatebenefitsolutions.net or give them a call at 248-290-0250 extension 16. Graphic Takeover, located at 948 South Baldwin Road in Clarkston. They are supporting the ONTV Food Drive for the first time this year, donating $100 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Graphic Takeover, visit their website, graphictakeover.com, or give them a call. Nuts About Chocolate, located at 59 South Broadway Street in Lake Orion. The local chocolate and confections shop has contributed $100 to our final goal for this year's food drive. For more information about Nuts About Chocolate, give them a call at 248-690-7345.
They also have a presence on Facebook. Builders Custom Flooring, located at 11 South Broadway Street in Lake Orion. The family-owned and operated flooring company is partnering with the ONTV Food Drive for the first time with a $100 donation to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information about Builders Custom Flooring, visit their website at builderscustomflooring.com. And by Oakland Heating and Cooling, located at 697 South Lapeer Road in Oxford. The family-owned company has been serving Oakland County since 2000. They're a first-time sponsor with a donation of $100 to the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry. For more information, you can visit their website, oaklandheatingcooling.com.
All right, great sponsors. We had over 30 this year with a minimum of $100 donation, and it's just the outpouring of support for Fish and ONTV and OCTV, who's our partner this year, was just amazing this year. You know, we can't say thank you enough to those guys. I'm almost speechless thinking about it because every year we weren't sure how this goes. We modified the food drive from a traditional one-day event where there's a whole lot of action going on, live performances, 4 hours of live TV, to this kind of we call it a virtual, but it's, we're back to normal. COVID is gone and in the rear view, and we're kind of back to normal. So just to have the response we've had with the change in this feature program is such a relief. We were so worried, but they came out in droves, so it's really, really nice. And you, Oakland Heating and Cooling, you said you have a friend?
Yeah, that my friend, her husband, that's his company, and so
And so many new sponsors, and learning about new businesses from them coming out of the woodwork. It's been great. So, so we had some feature videos too for some of our sponsors that we went out, and Joe Johnson, our studio manager, was working day and night putting these things together. There were so many of these videos produced, but it really is a showcase of the sponsors and why they give back to the community and why they support Fish. So let's after this, we're going to toss it over to our programming segment, so don't go away. Here's our little feature videos from some of our sponsors for today.
We are a medical billing service, and I have been in business for 25 years. We just moved to this office in the last 2 years, but we do billing for providers' offices, so we do cardiology, hematology, oncology, vascular care, infectious disease, but we do all the specialties. Well, I live in the community, so I wanted to be close, especially when my kids were little, so that I could be close to them when they got out of school. But I love the small community feel. And so being downtown with all its history, it's been really cool, and we really enjoy being downtown. As a small business, we like to give back to the local communities around us, and with Lake Orion, I grew up in Lake Orion, so it's an important community to me. In Ortonville ourselves, we have that need too, and we see it in the school system, so we know that most of the communities around also have that too, so it's important to support that community. We support the school systems, we've done their sports systems, we've done Relay for Life, which is against cancer. We've done a lot of little things that keep coming up. We've also done the Ortonville OSEF, which is also their food in Ortonville.
Dowling Buick GMC has been serving the Lake Orion community for more than 40 years. We here at ONTV would like to thank them for helping to sponsor our food drive benefiting Oxford Orion Fish. Of course, giving back to the community is not a new concept for the dealership. Dowling Buick GMC hosts several car shows throughout the year, with each one helping a different community organization.
We raise money for various charity groups throughout the year. Each show has a charity. This is the Orion Veterans Memorial down here on Lapeer Road, raising money for that memorial today. And throughout the year we pick different charities and we try to mix it up and keep the money in the community. I can tell you that last year with our shows we raised almost $30,000.
This is a community we all live in, and I live here in Lake Orion as well. And it's the community that supports us and our business. We always want to try and give back as best that we can. I'm blessed as far as having great employees and great customers and all the rest, but it's also a blessing to be in a business that can also be considered your hobby and your fun part of it as well, because I love cars.
And every year, Gowling Buick GMC hosts Lake Orion's biggest party of the year. The who's who of Lake Orion are invited to come out to the Holly Jolly Folly, a massive fundraiser that helps make the Orion Lighted Parade an annual spectacular that old and young alike look forward to every holiday season.
You know what? It's fun. The bottom line is it's fun, and it's really fun to do things in our community, for our community, and this is really what it's all about, right? It becomes grassroots stuff. The community comes together, and it's really great. And we've been through a couple tough years, and this is a celebration coming out of some of that stuff.
I can't thank John Cooper and Gowlings enough. They are not only the presenting sponsor of the parade, they also pay for everything here. So it's a great event. I know John Cooper loves to do it, and we love having it here, and the family here at Gowlings. I mean, we couldn't have done it without them. I mean, we had our oil change kids, our mechanics, guys in the body shop. We're all here today setting up, tearing down, cleaning up. Can't have enough help from the Tally Gardens. They're doing a great job. So we love it, and we love doing it here at Gowlings. So it's my Gowling cap is, as far as I know, we're going to be doing this for a while.
For more information, visit GowlingBuickGMC.com. And again, we'd like to thank them for helping to support the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry.
Well, the history, my father bought the property in 1991. It took him about 2 years to restore the property and open it up basically as a Christmas village and a giant Christmas store, which was the anchor of the business for a long, long time. Fast forward to 2020, I bought the property for my mom and dad, me and my wife, Angie. And in the last 15 months, we've kind of had quite the whirlwind of change with Canterbury. We are no longer in the retail business, meaning the Christmas. I've leased out every square foot of this place to great local vendors, Yates, Wooden Tulip, Scott's Farm, you name it. We have some really, really great small vendors here. And then we've gotten known for our family events that we do with our programming. Dinosaurs, Halloween, holiday, food truck rallies, things of that nature. And our calendar for 2022 is by far our biggest ever, and it's going to be a crazy summer here. Just go to our Facebook site. I mean, we got everything on there. Our social media team does a great job of keeping people up to speed on what Canterbury's doing. So just go to Facebook, Canterbury Village, and then obviously you can go to canterburyvillage.com on the web, but that'll take you to Facebook as well. I own Dino Stroll, and we've been around the country. Last June was our first road show in Philadelphia, and so we've been at it for about 7 months now. And last weekend we were in St. Louis. This weekend we're in Chantilly, and been all over the country, and it's been a whirlwind. So I never thought I'd be in the dinosaur carnival business, but I am, and I've had a lot of fun, and me and my wife have had a great 15 months, and our charity and giving has been awesome, and we're very lucky and very happy. Well, we have 3 big charities right now. Jay Towers with Jay Juniors. In 15 months, we raised a little over $70,000 for his charity, which is helping sick kids. He takes them to Disneyland every year. And then we've teamed up with Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and the Bottomless Toy Chest. We've raised in the last 2 Christmases thousands and thousands of toys. This year we decided to go a little above and beyond, and we donated $5,000 to the Bottomless Toy Chest. They do a wonderful job with kid pediatrics for 12 months of the year. And then this year, this past summer, we opened up our own food pantry on our campus along with Woodside Bible Church. We call it the Village Food Pantry. And it's been a whirlwind. It's been very fun. I'm super proud of the charity aspects we've given. And in the next few weeks, we're going to announce our 4th charity partner. And then obviously, Matt Pfeiffer gave me a nice phone call about a week or so ago. I can't tip my cap to Matt enough what he does for our community. And if we had another 25, 30 Matt Pfeiffers in Lake Orion, it would be awesome. And he asked me, or Canterbury Village, for a nice donation for the Your Food Drive going on. And of course, I'm always willing to donate and help out. And just because I have my own food pantry doesn't mean other ones don't need help as well. So Canterbury donated $1,000 to the food drive and your program in the next couple of weeks here. But if everybody pitched in that's well-to-do, like you just said, in our community, and a lot of people have, hopefully Oxford Orion Fish, Village Food Pantry, hopefully we can help bring that to attention and really stop hunger in our own little community of Oxford and Orion, and hopefully continue it, through Oakland County and then Metro Detroit. And you know what? We live in America. Nobody should go hungry. I mean, our number one goal in America, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, no matter what you believe in, nobody should be hungry.
Back in the studio, so thankful for our sponsors. Those feature videos are so well put together by our studio manager, Joe Johnson, and they really kind of give you a deeper look at some of the businesses and how they interact and work with our community and give back.
Well, and they're part of our community, so that, and again, I think it's been said multiple times how wonderful our local communities are, and everybody's intertwined and helping each other. And
so we're going to move on to something else about our community, a little bit of history. So this is our programming segment here, hosted by Joe Johnson. And we got Jimmy back in the studio again this year. Thank you so much for coming in. So we're going to toss you over to the guys, and they're going to talk about a little bit of Lake Orion history. So take it away.
Thanks a lot. Hi, I'm Joe Johnson, and I'm a huge history buff, especially Lake Orion history. I can't get enough of it. This community has such a deep, rich history of, being known as a resort town, a getaway for people who would take the train up here from Pontiac in Detroit. And there were cottages all around the lake, and this was a destination, and there were things to do out here. And so that's what we're going to focus on today, is how Lake Orion was a bit of a destination for people coming in from the big city as a getaway. As a matter of fact, Jimmy Johnson here is joining me, and he is the creator of Where Living is a Vacation. That's a website, social media presence. He's also the owner of Graphic Takeover, who we would like to thank you for being one of our sponsors of this year's food drive. So welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So the last time we got together, we talked about the Scripps Estate, the Scripps Mansion, which was originally a kind of summer getaway destination for the Scripps family. And that's what a lot of people did, was come out to Lake Orion to kind of get away from it all.
Yeah.
So what do you have some photos you want to share with us?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
So what I want to share today is how Lake Orion, Where Living is a Vacation, there was an amusement park. And yes, I know many residents probably know there's an amusement park here, but there's a lot of different amenities that you may not know. So through the pictures, our first picture I'm going to cover right here is a nighttime scene. This is probably the one you've seen everywhere around town, but this is the nighttime scene of Park Island. Well, actually, this is the main landing lit up at night. So it's like in the 1920s.
And that was in Greens Park, or
Yep.
was that, okay.
That was in Greens Park, yeah,
So
right
you
by the
would
railroad.
board a boat at Greens Park, take it over to Park Island.
Yep, and we'll go on to the next photo. So how it all started, so John Winter, so this is a nice photo of him. You'll see in the background the calendar says 1921. So he was the main one that purchased Park Island in 1911 and actually turned it into what it was, the amusements. So in 1930s, he ended up selling it back to the village of Lake Orion, and then it became Greens Park. And just a little side note about that, like Greens Park was named after the Green family that had the Lakeside Hotel that was in that Greens Park area right at the landing. So that was pretty interesting. Our next photo, yeah, there's like an advertisement. So dated 1933. This is post, still had the amusements, but kind of towards the end of it. But I like how it has like a good panoramic view, and it talks about it's a clean resort for clean people, parking for 1,000 cars. So wanting people to move to Lake Orion. They have the Summer Homes Company.
And you can see in that photo on the right side the train tracks that brought people out to Lake Orion.
Yeah, yep, just get right off the train track. Train will take you right there and go right across and get it on your boat, like you said. Yep. Our next photo is of the Park Island landing. So after you get on your boat, take you to the island, and here's a view of what you see when you land. So you notice like how everyone's dressed there. It's pretty cool, stepping back in time there. The next photo is of the carousel. So at that time, in the 1920s, this carousel was $12,000, which in today's money, that's like $350,000. It was a very elaborate carousel. So it's from 1915, and it actually came, had Italian opera music playing on it. Wow. And you'll see in the middle, the one guy that's staring dead on at the camera is an Italian, Vincent Borelli, who ran the carousel. So it was pretty interesting.
I wonder whatever became of that. I wonder if the pieces still exist somewhere.
Yeah. I've posted it on Facebook. I'm wondering if anybody knew, and people have mentioned where, parts went to different cities after it was torn down, but never able to trace it again.
Wow.
So along with being on Park Island, there was also different games you could play. There was dancing, open air markets. So an example of some of the open air markets, popular game of the time was Japanese rolling ball. So a lot to do on this island. Here's an example. Here is a photo of the water slide, which later on ended up turning into like a toboggan run.
Yeah.
And then eventually all broken apart. Here's a photo of the Orion Arc dancing. So this one is actually located, it's North Shore, just north of West Flint Street. It was owned by the Unger family. Also had like an orchestra that provided music in the 30s. And the dock on the right was Cole's Dock. So you see, notice everyone in their swimwear at that time. It was a nice,
those
clear
wool
photo.
bathing suits.
Yeah, in the middle of summer. So another thing they did was in the summertime they had the Venetian Parade. So picture like the kind of like the Woodward Dream Cruise, but of boats. Everybody would get their boats all dressed up, and notice that there's brooms and everything in here. There's a lot of American flags. So there was an article in 1940 trying to recruit this midsummer favorite. So it read, "A carnival that costs precious little money, takes very little time, and is plenty of fun is the Venetian Parade, which is Lake Orion's most frolicsome event every summer. Scheduled for tomorrow, August 17th at 4 p.m. It's sponsored by the Park Island Amusement Company." So yeah, it was cool that they had this in the newspaper trying to recruit, and there's a lot of names listed of people that have already signed up. A lot of names that we would recognize today. Here is a picture of the City of Orion boat. So it was first named the Chautauqua boat. It had carried 300 passengers, had an orchestra and dance floor, but in high winds it eventually capsized, so it had to be rebuilt and when it was rebuilt, it was called the City of Orion. Now, like afterwards, back in the 30s, the pieces were broken down of this boat, and it was used as fill on the west side shore of Oak Lane, along with other passenger boats. So maybe if somebody could dive and find a piece of Orion history, you may be able to.
Yeah, I've always heard rumors about those boats being at the bottom of Lake Orion. It'd be fun to get down there and scuba dive. I heard visibility's not good, but that would be a fun project.
Oh yeah, get a plank that says City of Orion on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Let's see.
Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, you know, you mentioned the Venetian Boat Parade. We have, well, before we go into that, when 1959 rolled around, Lake Orion was celebrating its 100th birthday, its centennial. And the 4th of July weekend was always a big weekend in Lake Orion, up until fairly modern times. We have some amazing home movies here. You can see on the screen there, courtesy of James Sheldon, who shot these home movies in 1959 during the Centennial Spectacular Celebration. You see there on the screen playing the sax, that is a guy named Tex Beneke, who was fairly famous at the time. He was known for being a part of the Glenn Miller Orchestra, and when Glenn Miller's plane was lost during World War II, and he was presumed dead, Tex Beneke took over the Glenn Miller Orchestra. And so he was a really big name that came here to Lake Orion. Here you see a beauty pageant, Miss Lake Orion, if you can believe it. And crowned Miss Lake Orion was, I did a little research on this, Dinah Lou Roberts. 17-year-old crowned Miss Lake Orion, was brought up to the stage, got to meet Tex Beneke, got a little kiss from him. Now, interestingly, after this was put together as a special on local cable TV, I asked some local seniors, do you know anyone named Dinah Lou Roberts? And they said, yeah, she still lives here in the community. She walked in through the front doors of our studio. I barely recognized her because she was probably 40 or 50 years older than she appears in these films. And she had never seen that footage before, so I presented it to her as a gift of her getting crowned Miss Lake Orion. Here's some home movies of downtown Lake Orion. You may recognize some of those buildings. Before it was Hanson's, it was Van Wagner's Pharmacy. And there's a 4th of July parade in downtown Lake Orion. We don't do a 4th of July parade anymore. I think we should bring that back. But yeah, like I said, 4th of July was a really big deal here in Lake Orion with parades and activities. Of course, like I said, they're celebrating the 100th anniversary, so they went all out. Right. But it's so cool. Like when I look at these home movies and you see little kids, you think, wow, these kids are, what, 60 years old, 70 years old now, these little kids in these films?
Yeah.
It's really amazing to see. I wonder how many are still here in the community.
Right.
But
saw like an IGA building with Builder's Custom there.
Local politicians, and everyone's all dressed up.
Look at the cars.
It's really amazing. And they continued the water activities and everything that weekend, where they had log rolling contests and they brought back the Venetian Boat Parade and all that stuff.
Log rolling, really, now that we need to bring back.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Have to get some insurance for that one. But yeah, I love seeing these old home movies, and you, like I said, you recognize some of those buildings, a lot of those buildings.
Yep, there's
the
an
Orion Bakery, it says. That's something we need to bring back, a bakery in downtown Lake Orion.
Yeah, but you can recognize the architecture at the tops, the peaks of all these buildings.
Yeah, so that's Flint and Broadway, and it's just really amazing. I feel like that this James Sheldon, who I assume shot these movies, he was the equivalent of me back in the day, because that's what I do. You could always find me in downtown Lake Orion shooting video of all the activities and everything that's going on.
Look, the A&P. Atlantic and Pacific.
Yeah, look at that.
That Green Hippo, now Green Hippo. Look at the crowds and the cars.
Those cars weren't that old back then.
No, this is not an antique car parade. This is actually the vehicles of the time.
All right, you can come back to the studio here. So those are amazing. Penny Peterson, who used to work for the Orion Library, she's the one who came in to our studio with those home movies that have been transferred to VHS tape, and we turned that into a little program that aired locally on cable TV, and you can find that on YouTube.
Yeah.
There's so much more to it. I think it's about a 30-minute long special that you can watch on YouTube, and we air it on our channel occasionally.
Yeah, I'm very thankful for her to do that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
it
there's
was
a lot of
great to
home
see
movies
that.
sitting around
Yeah.
in people's homes.
And that leads into, I want to cue up this video here. Back in 1994, I had just recently come out to this community. I was hired in late 93 to run the ONTV studio when it was at our former location over by Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. And when I came out, that 4th of July was rolling around, in 1994, and they wanted to try and restore the glory of the 4th of July, and they brought back for the first time in years the Venetian Boat Parade, and it all happened over one weekend: the parade, the Jubilee, and the fireworks. So let's take a look at this video segment right now.
Approximately 40 vessels gathered at the boat club Sunday morning before the parade, all decorated with patriotic flags and banners. Captains and crew members took the time to meet each other and check out each other's crafts, which included a number of antique boats.
Well, I think in addition to recognizing the 4th of July holiday, it's just going to provide a lot of community spirit and togetherness. I'm sure you'll get some more shots just all around me right now. There's a lot of excitement and anticipation. The children are here, the adults are here. I just think it's a coming together of the community, and it's great because it's the same night as the fireworks, and we have the street carnival downtown. And again, as I've said before, we're showing off our greatest natural resource here in the community, which is Lake Orion.
The parade got underway at 11 a.m., led by the Sheriff's Department. The boats traveled around the perimeter of Lake Orion in about 2 hours.
Well, I'll tell you, I was in the street parade last year, and the turnout for the last few years has been kind of poor. I think we had like 10 participants, and the focal point really of the 4th of July weekend out here is the lake anyway. And so I talked to the boat club members. I said, what do you think about sponsoring it along with the township and bringing it back again? And they were all for it 100%. I mean, we see all the people here on the island and at the boat club, and all the boat club members look like they're enjoying themselves too.
The village closed off the streets of the downtown area to make room for the 1994 Lake Orion Lions Jubilee. Taking place last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, families were invited to take advantage of the games, rides, food, and entertainment.
I was born and raised in this town. I kind of like to bring the people back downtown and show them that we still have a downtown here. And it helps out. I mean, this brings the people in to show the merchants still got stores down here. So we're working with the merchants on this thing too. So.
Merchants and members of the community volunteered their time during the event, which ran from noon to 1:30 a.m. each of the 3 days. In addition to providing some fun during the holiday weekend, the Jubilee also raised funds to help the Lions Club continue their community outreach efforts.
The money that we raise from the Jubilee goes right into what we call our general fund. That fund is open to, of course, anybody that's visually impaired, young, elderly, middle-aged. We also use the funds that we generate to help people that are a little down out on their luck. Some people that need a cane or a wheelchair or need a wheelchair ramp built onto their house. So it's basically all the money that comes in, every penny of it goes right back out into the community.
Last Sunday's fireworks spectacular was a memorable one to all who witnessed it, but there may be many who enjoyed the show without fully appreciating the work that went into it. The fireworks crew began arriving at Greens Park about 4 hours before showtime, many of them just local guys who look forward to this day all year long. One of those helping out, Nick Christie, was also instrumental in raising the money to make this possible. A fundraiser at his restaurant, the Orion House, along with donations from the community, brought in almost $11,000.
I think it brings the whole community together. It's the one thing that we do have in this community that's actually left that's solid. And I enjoy it, and I think everybody enjoys it in the community. It's something to look forward to. It's probably the biggest weekend of the year for us.
After the trenches are dug, the guns are then cleared of debris and buried in groups of various diameters. A short time later, the shells arrive and are sorted according to size. Beginning at 3 inches, the shells go up to 10 inches in diameter. The larger the diameter, the more powerful the shell. Shannon Scheidler from Oxford volunteers his time each year to the event. He described the activity on the ground during the event as pandemonium.
What we do, we'll load the guns. We have, like in my, say, we'll use my crew. I'm the loader for our crew. I have a loader and 2 runners. So we'll preload everything before the show, but then once I shoot them out of that gun, I'll get done with my 5s, I'll holler load the 5s, and I'll move to 6s. The 2 runners will bring shells down to the loader. He'll proceed to load all the guns that I've already fired. And then when he's done, he'll tell me they're done, and I'll start over again.
At 10 o'clock, the show begins.
So yeah, it's hard to believe that was almost 30 years ago. Next year will be the 30th anniversary of that particular video clip. It doesn't feel like it. It's amazing.
Not at all.
So you were asking while we were watching that, so the Venetian Boat Parade came back in '94, but it only lasted just a few years before it went away again. I don't understand why it just couldn't take hold, and the 4th of July thing sort of got moved around, the Jubilee got moved. Now today in Lake Orion we have 2 separate fireworks shows, which blows my mind. They're just a couple of weeks apart. The boat parade kind of got revived during Dragon on the Lake because now they have the lighted nighttime boat parade during the Friday of Dragon on the Lake. So, you know, traditions come and go, and they disappear, and they're brought back, and so now what used to be the biggest celebration of the year, now I think Dragon on the Lake would be considered the biggest celebration of the year. But
watching these videos do bring back fresh ideas of like, hey, why not? Why can't we do this again?
Yeah, exactly.
Why can't we bring the boats back during the day?
Yeah.
Right next to the log rolling.
I miss all that stuff. That was a lot of fun. So, Jimmy, thanks for joining me. Always great seeing you, and thanks for bringing down some calendars. We got some Where Living is a Vacation calendars here, and it has some of those vintage photos that you've seen, and just really great job putting that together.
Thank you very much. Every time we talk, I end up learning more from you, so it's great. You're like a wealth of knowledge.
It's amazing. Like I said, 30 years I came to this community, so I'm sure we'll have a big party next year when we celebrate the 30th anniversary.
Yes, indeed, we should.
Yeah. All right, well, that'll pretty much wrap up our history segment. We are going to throw it to a little piece that we put together, something that happened yesterday. The VFW Post 334 showed up at the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry, which all this is for, and presented a pretty significant check to the food pantry yesterday, which was part of our week-long efforts to support the Fish Food Pantry. Take a look at that right now. On Thursday, February 9th, representatives of North Oakland VFW Post 334 arrived at the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry to present a check for $1,200. Each year at this time, the VFW takes part in the food pantry's Adopt a Shelf program to make sure that the tomato sauce shelves are stocked throughout the year.
Their business is booming, and with that, the reason it's booming is everybody at home sees an impact. Every time they go groceries, what used to be $1 is now $5, and that's putting a lot of people out in the risk range now. So having this organization here support the Orion, Oxford, Metamora in here in North Oakland, that it's just a gem to have out in this area here. It surely is. And our money cannot be better used than going out and supporting the community this way, because there's a lot of veterans that come through the doors here to pick up some food for the month.
When you see us on the streets offering everybody a poppy, those donations that come in help support this community service that we do. We can use that money to help veterans and the spouses and their children and the community too. So that money is set aside through the Poppy program that we do offer, and that's how we collect the monies to purchase the items that we do sponsor on the shelves.
It's amazing to have, this lump sum of money. Our clients are increasing in number. We get more calls, so this all helps, tremendously for us to have food on the shelves to help those families in need.
Many individuals and community organizations have adopted shelves to help keep popular items in stock year-round, like pasta, cereal, taco shells, and even paper products.
People are welcome to adopt a shelf, and that would entail them, like maybe adopting carrots, say, for example. They would contribute $100 a month to their shelf. They can either purchase canned carrots and shelve it themselves or send us a check, and then we would do it. But it just helps us offset costs if everybody does a little bit. So we have quite a few adopt-a-shelves right now, and they can come in and do it. They like to bring their families. If they've got kids, it can help stock, their shelves. And so, yeah, it's a big help.
For more information, you can call 248-628-3933 or visit oxfordorionfish.org.
All right, back in the studio. Live TV.
Yes.
We were just chit-chatting. Also, we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we are.
We're back.
Last 10 minutes of the Food Drive live segment coming your way right now.
Live, just live, but we're not ending. The food drive is not ending, so we're going to keep going.
Absolutely. We actually have primetime special programming on the history side and a little potpourri. So we do have our primetime special today. Tonight it starts at 7 p.m. So we still have our food drive programming to honor our sponsors, to make sure they get all the pub that they deserve for their support of the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry and this food drive. So be sure to tune in and hang around after we're done at 2 p.m. We'll go to more of our pledge programming and then the special features from 7 to 9 this evening. If you want to donate to the food drive, you can do so by heading over to our website at OnTV.org. Click on that food drive logo and it'll take you right to the food drive page, which will get you to our charity GoFundMe. Yes. And the donations have been coming in, and we've been tallying up our last bit of sponsor donations. And we don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet, but with the VFW's donation, we just saw that is $1,200, which is great. And the wonderful thing about that is they adopted a shelf at Fish.
Oh.
Were you aware that you could adopt a shelf?
I was not aware that you could adopt a shelf.
I didn't know either.
Well, like adopt a highway, but adopt a shelf?
Yes, so if you adopt a shelf, it just, for them, they donate $1,200, and that money goes toward stocking a specific shelf with their name on it.
Oh,
and families can do that too. If you want to adopt a shelf, you can do so, and you can either give a monetary donation to help the food pantry purchase those items to stock that shelf, or you can bring items in yourself and you can put those items on the shelf. If you want more information of how you can donate and volunteer and do all these different great things to support fish, head on over to their website at oxfordorionfish.org. Steve's pointing outside. I'm not sure what's going on. Is he ready?
He's ready.
All right, so live TV, stumbles and bumbles and good fun stuff. So we're going to go outside.
New things, as things pop up, we get to bring it to you.
Well, while we were in the history segment, I went out and checked on the live donations the donations we had. Those are from the brownies and the daisies. We talked about that at the top of the hour when we came in. And so there's Joey's on the move.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a look at the production van because we got a number of donations this morning. And you're going to get a look live inside the production van. I hope the signal holds. It's holding. Look at that. Madison, your phone didn't hold that far last time, but look at the donations. Those two blue. I wish we knew who that was because they really put us over the top in the boxes of food that were donated. And once we add the donations from the brownies and the daisies to that, I have a feeling that we're going to. Oh, he just lost the signal. So we know he can go about 2 more feet than Madison's phone. But that's right from their phone, right to our production system. And you see that the the donations are coming in. We wanted to share that with everybody.
Yes,
to add that live element. There he is.
There it is.
I think the signal is just being blocked by the wall, and I see his big finger in the way, the giant finger. So we could see what was happening inside. Those physical donations were coming in all week long.
Right, and we appreciate those. The pantry appreciates all donations, whether it's food items or your monetary donations. It all goes to help throughout the year. And
it does, and those donations. So that's something we didn't mention today. Is that why are we having the food drive this time of year? Fish. We talked to Fish 13 years ago and said, how can we help?
Right.
They said if you have a food drive this time of year, it'll bridge the gap from after the holidays because, the shelves really kind of get hit hard for the holidays because there's a lot of holiday feasting and festive, and you're going to eat. So we are that bridge from the holiday season into the spring to try to get at least some cash in hand, donations in hand to get them to the next series of food drives that come after ours.
Right.
So it's an ongoing process. It never stops, and we know you have a family, I have a family. The cost of food.
Yes, it's
unbelievable.
It's getting crazy. So if you are in need, please reach out. We have the number here on the screen. You can call 248-628-3933. So if for any reason you and your family, you have a need, please don't hesitate to reach out. That's what the food pantry is there for.
Absolutely.
So.
And here's some needed items this time of year. Every seasonal food drive they do, the needs change, but during the cold winter months, these are some of the top items that they're looking for. Canned pineapple, canned mandarin oranges and other fruits, chilies, beef stew, sloppy joe mix, and other meal prep items like hamburger helper, ketchup and mustards, canned chicken and beef, chunky soups. You gotta love chunky soups, right? They
Who
fill
doesn't
you
love
up.
a chunky
The
soup?
hot bowl of chunky soup get you through a cold winter day. Baked beans.
Baked beans, that's one of my son's favorites.
I love baked beans. And taco shells, cake mixes, feminine hygiene products. Those kind of
They
get
are
overlooked.
necessary.
Shampoos and toothpaste, and even school items. Items for school, backpack items to get the kids going. So. Here's some statistics we have on fish. We call them our fish facts, and these have been updated this week. The numbers here, we have household visits. This is annual, so this was for 2022. 1,800 plus home or household visits were made. That averages about 151 a month. And the individuals served, if we look at the 378 per month, that is up over 150.
Wow.
So we are seeing a huge increase in need, especially the food dispensed or dispersed. It's 189, almost 190,000 pounds of food last year.
Wow.
And Sue, the vice president of Fish, came in and had a really great interview with us on Monday. And she mentioned that in January alone, 19,000 pounds went out the door.
Wow.
Which,
That's
if we're going to do the averages, that is above average of what we're seeing here on the screen.
Right.
And that's just January, the first month of 2023.
Well, and you think when you were saying how Fish said, their need, this was a time of year that they need to bridge the gap. Another reason is, when kids if there's a family in need, there's meals at school. Well, when they're home for that long winter break, that's more meals at home, and there's a greater need. So,
and we also saw too, like during the COVID years, and even last year, both of our students are at Lake Orion High School, right?
Yep.
My son's over there, and lunch was provided.
Right.
It didn't cost students anything to, that came from the COVID funds from the federal government.
Right.
And that is gone. Those the funds come and go, and this situation we hope is behind us. But those funds are gone, so you do have to purchase your lunches again, or you're making them at home and bring them in. So that is another change over the last 3 years for an added expense for families. So But yeah, it's just one of those things where we got to get those donations in. Our time here in the studio is ticking down, about 4 minutes until we wrap this thing up. We're going to have our final collection total so far. Oh, we're going to put it up.
All
It
right.
is. Dum 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 drum roll. $8,475.
Wow.
That's what we've collected so far
That
this week.
Is fantastic.
Isn't that
That
great?
is great. And we're still going. So
We are.
This is just where we're at right now. So
Can we get to 10?
I would love to see 10.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I think we could.
The staff was kind of laughing at me, like we had our pre-production meeting about the food drive. We always work about a month and a half ahead of time to get this all prepared. A lot of legwork to put this program together from the ONTV staff and our volunteers. And when I put down, yeah, we're collecting $10,000 in cash this year, right? They're all looking like, what? no, typo. I'm like, oops, So we went back to our 5,000. But can we hit that 10,000 mark? We are within striking distance.
I think we can.
So again, we're going to keep that charity GoFundMe open all through the weekend, and we'll close it down Monday morning. So I like to see that $8,475.
So this weekend, right? We have the big football event, right? The Super Bowl on Sunday.
Super Bowl.
A lot of people will be celebrating, and I know there's some squares that go out. So maybe match what you're
Yeah, if you
doing
got a big group of people in a party, just roll over to OrionOnTV.org, pull up that donation, and hit that donation
pull up
button,
the
right?
site and donate, right?
Yes,
Yes, I mean,
think you
because most of the time you're donating anyway. When you're doing your squares. And
take those winnings and give them to somebody who could really use them in need. All right, so I'm getting the wrap-up signal from Steve over here. Thanks for our volunteer crew, our volunteer hosts all week, OCTV for being a co-host with us on this food drive, LOAM and the LOHS kids over there for providing newscasts. Tracy, thank you for sitting in. And
thank you.
We threw you to an interview with the DDA.
It was great.
And
it was so much fun.
So informative. Ian Locke here for ONTV, Tracy Woodrum, volunteer at ONTV, and Tea with Tracy podcast host. We're going to see you next time. Be sure to watch all night long through 9 p.m. We have our special features tonight.
More to come.
Donate. We'll see you later.